Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our journey to 250,000 subscribers. So let's try to make that happen at least before Election Day on November 5th, okay? So if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button and most importantly, share with a friend. Because as we reach this final week of the campaign, what we really need to do is to take a look at Trump's closing remarks. Now, over the last few days, Trump has brought his campaign into deep, deep trouble. I mean, here's a tweet that I actually posted. It takes place in Palm Beach, Florida. And I'm saying it to all of my Upper East Side Jewish friends who are supporting Trump and worse than that, MAGA, claiming that Trump is better for the Jewish people and Israel than Kamala Harris. I mean, this is who and what you are supporting. Welcome to Palm Beach. Mazel, you morons. Look at what we're talking about. You're talking about two Trump flags followed by two Nazi flags as the people on the boat are saluting the people on land. This is just not normal stuff. This isn't what we're supposed to see in 2025. All right, take that disgusting thing down. All right, now, most recently, Elon Musk's America PAC posted this ad calling Kamala Harris a C word. And here's the ad. Play it.
Warning, this ad contains multiple instances of the C word. Viewer discretion is advised. Kamala Harris is a C word. You heard that right. A big old C word. In fact, all of the other C words think she's the biggest C word of them all. That's right, she's a tax-hiking, regulation-loving, gun-grabbing communist. And the worst part, she's proud of it. Kamala Harris, the C word America simply can't afford. See you nationwide, Tuesday, November 5th.
I don't even know how to react. I hope one of you are able to say, DM me somewhere and tell me what your reaction to this is. You know that's not what he's talking about. They're just playing with words. It is a disgusting ad, but this is the problem. When you have people who are worth $300 billion that are as unstable as somebody like Elon Musk is, who has involved himself into the cult of Donald Trump. Now, you've heard me say this on other episodes. It is but a matter of time before which Trump ends up screwing Elon Musk over as well. He can't help himself because the more that Elon Musk puts himself out there, the more that he starts getting some notoriety and fame. And you heard it when the people started clapping for him, greater and louder than the claps when Trump came out. Things like that do not go unnoticed. So Trump will use him up until November 5th and then cut him loose. That's what's going to end up happening. That's my prediction. And so far, I've been right about pretty much everything. Now, here's what Nikki Haley had to say. Play that clip.
They were right to denounce the comedian. They need to go and tell Puerto Ricans how much, they do value them. They need to tell Latinos that, but they also need to look at how they're talking about women. I mean, this bromance and this masculinity stuff, it borders on edgy to the point that it's going to make women uncomfortable. You've got affiliated PACs that are doing commercials about calling Kamala the C word, or you had speakers at Madison Square Gardens, referring to her and her pimps. That is not the way to win women. That is not the way to win people who are concerned about Trump style. This is a time to talk about the economy. This is the time to talk about immigration. This is the time to talk about national security. And this is the time to talk about Kamala Harris.
Yeah. Again, I always talk about Trump's instincts. And one of the things that I say is his initial instinct was he was going to bring Nikki Haley on as his vice presidential nominee. Instead, thanks to the good old hard work of two guys who are fake masculine, I'm talking about Donald Trump Jr. and Peter Thiel, they ended up convincing Donald that Shady Vance is the right guy for him and this campaign. You heard what she said. And you don't have to be female to be insulted by this ad. You just have to be a male who who actually loves his mom or his wife or his daughters or his nieces or his friends' daughters and so on. That's all that you have to do. You have to appreciate the role that women play in our society. And why he didn't choose Nikki Haley, I don't know, but I will tell you, this election would have been in the bag for him with somebody like Nikki Haley. The nice part is because he chose not to, we already know that there's like 30% of the Republican Party, the Nikki Haley voters, that said, we cannot vote for this guy under any circumstances. He's lost 30% of the Republican Party, the Nikki Haley voters. Why? Because of exactly the exact clip that I had just shown you. Now, let me move on here and say yesterday in Palm Beach, Trump goes back to calling Madison Square Garden, as I refer to it, the racist rally. He goes right back to his famous word. It was a love fest. It's a love fest. Play this clip.
I don't think anybody has ever seen anything like what happened the other night at Madison Square Garden. The love in that room. It was breathtaking, and you could have filled it many, many times with the people that were unable to get in. But politicians that have been doing this for a long time, 30 and 40 years, said there's never been an event so beautiful. It was like a love fest, an absolute love fest, and it was my honor to be involved. And hopefully, they started to say, well, in 1939, the Nazis used Madison Square Garden. Well, and you know what? But can you imagine it? In 1939, the Nazis, they would. But how terrible to say, right? Because, they've used Madison Square Garden many times. Many people have used it, but nobody's ever had a crowd like that. And I tell you what, right now, nobody's ever had love like that. That was love in the room, and it was love for our country. It was really love for our country.
Yeah. Again, I don't know what drugs this guy's taking, and I hope to God that it never ends up in our water supply or out on the streets, because this guy is batshit crazy. There was love? That wasn't love. That was a racist rally. That's all that it was. And then he claims to Hannity. So he goes, of course, right to his comfort zone. He's there at Palm Beach at Mar-a-Lago. And of course, he goes straight to Sean Hannity, right, his boyfriend. And he claims, Von Schitzenpants claims that he didn't know how Tony Hinchcliffe, the comedian, how he even got chosen to speak at the rally. It's another lie right out of Trump's mouth, straight to the American people, and using Hannity, the idiot, to project this lie. Play the clip.
What they've done is taken somebody that has nothing to do with the party, has nothing to do with us, said something, and they try and make a big deal. But I don't know who it is. I don't even know who put him in. And I can't imagine it's a big deal.
Yeah. Well, guess what, my friend? It is a big deal. It's such a big deal that even people like Nikki Haley and so many others have come out and have spoken out against the comments that were made by Tony Hinchcliffe. Number one, I don't think he's funny at all. In fact, I actually had to be reminded by my son who the hell he is. I've never found him funny. I didn't even know who the hell he is, despite the fact I've seen him on some of these comedy roasts several different times. What I found is that racist rally Tony Hinchcliffe represents exactly the group of people that he was there to speak to. And I also want to say, knowing from personal experience, that's what you're going to get here. My personal experience, Trump and or his campaign knew every single line that was going to be said by anyone. It's no different than when I had to review every single comment made about Trump during the Comedy Central Trump roast, right? Remember the Friars roast of Donald Trump? I had to review and approve every single comment made. And I guarantee you it was done here, whether it was by Trump personally, which I don't think so, but it's by his people. And if it's by him and his people, he's responsible, plain and simple. Now then in Allentown, Pennsylvania, Trump says that he has done more for Puerto Rico than any other president. I mean, talk about doubling down on lies. Play this clip.
You know, it's interesting because I've done more for Puerto Rico than any president by far, nobody close. I provided historic funding and the hospital ship when they were hit with a couple of really bad ones right in the road.
Yeah, and then he goes on to mention the whole paper towel incident, which again, it's offensive. It's offensive. It's not just the lies, it's rehashing, throwing toilet paper and paper towels to people who are in desperate need, thinking that this is help. Play the clip.
I was there handing out food. I got in trouble for that too because we were having fun. We had a lot of people, and I was throwing paper towels to the back. They were all having fun. Everybody, and the fake news came. Oh, that was very disrespectful to be throwing towels. No, I have unbelievable good relationship with Puerto Rico and the Puerto Rican people.
Yeah, no, you don't. In fact, you are having fun? Sure, because you were going to get back into your 757 plane, you fucking delusional moron. Delusional. You're getting back into your gold 757 aircraft back to Mar-a-Lago or one of your other properties where you're going to be met with meals and a warm bed and air conditioning if it was needed and whatever else that you need. These people lost everything. So we're having fun and I'm throwing them toilet paper so that they can wipe their ass. I mean, talk about fucking delusional. Delusional. There's nothing fun when you lose everything. And it's not like you lost it to a mistake that you made. It was a hurricane that swept through Puerto Rico and destroyed Puerto Rico. There's no electricity. There's no hot water. There's no boiled water. There was nothing fun. And he also then goes on in Allentown to say that Kamala can't get anyone and that she speaks to empty crowd. Again, it goes right to the delusion of this demented individual. Play this clip.
She can't get anybody. 3 days ago, she said Beyonce was coming. So people came to see Beyonce, but Beyonce went up, thank you very much, everybody, and then she left. She didn't sing. And then they all left. She was speaking, nobody, and they were booing the hell out of her, by the way. And the fake news doesn't report those stories.
Yeah. Again, he lives in his own fantasy land. And how do we know that? Because it was being filmed and you get to see it with your own eyes. You got to hear Beyonce and Kamala speak, right? You got to see and to hear the crowd roaring. I mean, we know it's just untrue. And yet they're applauding for it. I mean, here's a clip of the crowd yesterday before her speech at the Ellipse. Play it.
I don't think anything.
75,000 people showed up to the Ellipse yesterday to hear Kamala Harris speak. So when Trump turns around and states that she's speaking to empty crowds, right, again, what is it? It's projection. My friends, we are 6 days out before the most consequential election of our lives. Make sure that you are registered to vote because we cannot have somebody as delusional as Donald in the White House. In fact, he should never even be allowed into the White House, even as a guest. All right. And that's why I'm saying to you, please make sure you are registered to vote. Go to vote.org and make sure that when you do get to the ballot on November 5th, make sure that you vote up and down Democrat and make sure you start it off with the very top, Harris Walz 2024. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.